of your grief, but you'll always follow the voices beneath. Guileless son, your spirit will hate her, the flower who married my brother, the traitor, and you will expose his puppet behavior, for you are the proof of how we betrayed her loyalty. Hush, child, the darkness will rise from the deep and carry you down to sleep. Child, the darkness will rise from the deep and carry you down to sleep. Guileless son, each day you grow older, each moment I'm watching my vengeance unfold. For the child of my body, the flesh of my soul will die in returning the birthright he stole.
Hello guys, good evening to you on this fine Tuesday, September 21st, 2021, the final day of fall 2021. Good to see you guys. Summer 2021. Good to see you guys. Here we are, our 1,000-hour mark last night. Should look forward to some good adventures there tomorrow for sure. And here tonight, absolutely. Should be on about tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. To check it out. It's going to be good. Good to see you. And we shall be here for some fun stuff. A little reading of the Lurking Fear tonight. Our reading aloud category. Sorry, I have a huge frame drop when I open up the stream test, but I did want to just look at our achievements really quickly here. Our celebratory, yep, there it is. Empire Business, stream for 1,000 hours total. I've just hit celebrating it. There's the confetti, good fun. So we have that there. Yeah, looking good. I'm going to carry on to the next one, which will be... Okay, there it is. 2,000 hours. So, we're on our way to 2,000 hours. 1K out of 2K. We shall make that little update here in the bio. Yep, 1,000 hours complete. Let's update this little bio here really quickly. Got a nice emote list, all good fun. Good things. Let me update just this little blurb here. It says, cheers to the next 1,000 hours. We have added our first comma there. So good fun for that. Alright, looking good. Cheers to the next 1,000 hours. I apologize for the 10% drop frame came out of nowhere. I was sitting on no drop frames and then went up to 10% as soon as I look at it here on the internet, but for a little stream test, but that's okay. Cheers to the next 1,000 hours. And we are looking fine. Sorry for those frame drops.
Alright,
I'll let it cool.
looking
I'll let
good.
it calm down. Let it cool down now.
Cheers to the next 1,000 hours.
Sorry about that. Okay, we are looking fine. There we go. Great to be here with you guys. Great stuff. Come back to it shortly. Absolutely. Okay. As for tonight, do have a little bit with the lurking fear. Carry that on. Pick that back up. Back to other good stuff. Adventures tomorrow. Action Adventure Wednesday. Get to some of the stuff we didn't get to do today or Tuesday. But it's gonna be great. Take care of good business. Look forward to seeing you guys early evening, late afternoon. I shall be on that. Okay. As for the lurking fear, here at the 7-minute mark. Stream here today starting. Let's take a look, see where we left off. Hopefully this frame drops cool down, but it's mostly about the audio anyway, so should be fun. We left off. But when 2 days later the squatters told me that the red glare meant, I felt more horror than that which the mold burrow and the claws and eyes had given. More horror because of the overwhelming implications. In a hamlet 20 miles away, an orgy of fear had followed the bolt which brought me above ground, and a nameless thing had dropped from an overhanging tree into a weak-roofed cabin. It had done a deed, but the squatters had fired the cabin in frenzy before it could escape. Had been doing the deed at that very moment the earth caved in on the thing with the claw and eyes. Okay, I'll pick it up right from there. And let's see. A little soundtrack here. Perfect. Soundtrack. Okay, not too overpowering for you guys, hopefully. Let's play a bit of that. Okay, here we continue on to Chapter 4, The Horror in the Eyes. There can be nothing normal in the mind of one who, knowing what I knew of the horrors of Tempest Mountain, would seek alone for the fear that lurked there. That at least 2 of the fear's embodiments were destroyed, formed but a slight guarantee of mental and physical safety in this acheron of multiform diabolism. Yet I continued my quest with even greater zeal as events and revelations became more monstrous. When 2 days after my frightful crawl through that crypt of the eyes and claw, I learned that a thing had malignly hovered 20 miles away at the same instant the eyes were glaring at me. I experienced convulsions of fright. But that fright was so mixed with wonder and alluring grotesqueness that it was almost a pleasant sensation. Sometimes in the throes of a nightmare when unseen powers whirl one over the roofs of strange dead cities toward the grinning chasm of Nis, it is a relief and even a delight to shriek wildly and throw oneself voluntarily along with the hideous vortex of dream doom into whatever bottomless gulf may yawn. And so it was with the walking nightmare of Tempest Mountain. The discovery that 2 monsters had haunted the spot gave me ultimately a mad craving to plunge into the very earth of the accursed region, and with bare hands dig out the death that leered from every inch of the poisonous soil. As soon as possible, I visited the grave of Jan Martens and dug vainly where I had dug before. Some extensive cave-in had obliterated all trace of the underground passage, while the rain had washed so much earth back into the excavation that I could not tell how deeply I had dug that other day. I likewise made a difficult trip to the distant hamlet where the death creature had been burnt, and was little repaid for my trouble. In the ashes of the fateful cabin I found several bones, but apparently none of the monsters. The squatters said the thing had had only one victim, but in this I judged them inaccurate, since besides the complete skull of a human being, there was another bony fragment which seemed certainly to have belonged to a human skull at some time. Though the rapid drop of the monster had been seen, no one could say just what the creature was like. Those who had glimpsed it called it simply a devil. Examining the great tree where it had lurked, I could discern no distinctive marks. I tried to find some trail into the Black Forest, but on this occasion could not stand the sight of those horribly, morbidly large boles, or of those vast serpent-like roots that twisted so malevolently before they sank into the earth. My next step was to re-examine with microscopic care the deserted hamlet where death had come most abundantly, and where Arthur Munro had seen something he never lived to describe. Though my vain previous searches had been exceedingly minute, I now had new data to test, for my horrible grave crawl convinced me that at least one of the phases of the monstrosity had been an underground creature. This time on the 14th of November, my quest concerned itself mostly with the slopes of Cone Mountain and Maple Hill, where they overlook the unfortunate hamlet, and I gave particular attention to the loose earth of the landslide region on the latter eminence. The afternoon of my search brought nothing to light, and dusk came as I stood on Maple Hill looking down at the hamlet and across the valley to Tempest Mountain. There had been a gorgeous sunset, and now the moon came up, nearly full and shedding a silver flood over the plain, the distant mountainside, and the curious low mounds that rose here and there. It was a peaceful, Arcadian scene, but knowing what it hid, I hated it. I hated the mocking moon, the hypocritical plain, the festering mountain, and those sinister mounds. Everything seemed to me tainted with a loathsome contagion, and inspired by a noxious alliance with disordered hidden powers. Presently, as I gazed abstractly at the moonlit panorama, my eye became attracted by something singular in the nature and arrangement of a certain topographical element. Without having any exact knowledge of geology, I had from the first been interested in the odd mounds and hummocks of the region. I had noticed that they were pretty widely distributed around Tempest Mountain, though less numerous on the plain than near the hilltop itself, where prehistoric glaciation had doubtless found feebler opposition to its striking and fantastic caprices. Now in the light of that low moon, which cast long weird shadows, it struck me forcibly that the various points and lines of the mound system had a peculiar relation to the summit of Tempest Mountain. That summit was undeniably a center from which the lines or rows of points radiated indefinitely and irregularly, as if the unwholesome Marten's mansion had thrown visible tentacles of terror. The ideas of such tentacles gave me an unexplained thrill, and I stopped to analyze my reason for believing these mounds glacial phenomena. The more I analyzed, the less I believed, and against my newly opened mind, there began to be grotesque and horrible analogies based on superficial aspects, and upon my experience beneath the earth. Before I knew it, I was uttering frenzied and disjointed words to myself. My God, molehills! The damn place must be honeycombed. How many? That night of the mansion, they took Bennett and Toby first, one on each side of us. Then I was digging frantically into the mound which had stretched nearest me, digging desperately, shiveringly, but almost jubilantly, digging and at last shrieking aloud with some unplaced emotion as I came upon a tunnel or burrow, just like the one through which I had crawled on the other demoniac night. After that I recall running, spade in hand, a hideous run across moon-litten, mound-marked meadows, and through diseased, precipitous abysses of haunted hillside forests, leaping, screaming, panting, bounding toward the terrible Martens mansion. Panting, bounding toward the I recall digging unreasonably in all parts of the briar-choked cellar. Right. Digging to find the core and center of that malignant universe of mounds. And then I recall how I laughed when I stumbled on the passageway, the hole at the base of the old chimney, where the thick weeds grew and cast queer shadows in the light of the lone candle I had happened to have with me. What still remained down in that hell-hive lurking and waiting for the thunder to arouse it, I did not know. 2 had been killed. Perhaps that had finished it. But still there remained that burning determination to reach the innermost secret of the fear, which I had once more come to deem definite, material, and organic. My indecisive speculation whether to explore the passage alone and immediately with my pocket light, or to try to assemble a band of squatters for the quest, was interrupted after a time by a sudden rush of wind from the outside which blew out the candle and left me in stark blackness. The moon no longer shone through the chinks and apertures above me, and with a sense of fateful alarm, I heard the sinister and significant rumble of approaching thunder. A confusion of associated ideas possessed my brain, leading me to grope back toward the farthest corner of the cellar. My eyes, however, never turned away from that horrible opening at the base of the chimney, and I began to get glimpses of the crumbling bricks and unhealthy weeds as faint glows of lightning penetrated the weeds outside and illuminated the chinks in the upper wall. Every second I was consumed with a mixture of fear and curiosity. What would the storm call forth, or was there anything left for it to call? Guided by a lightning flash, I settled myself down behind a dense clump of vegetation, through which I could see the opening without being seen. If heaven is merciful, it will someday efface from my consciousness the sight that I saw, and let me live my last years in peace. I cannot sleep at night now, and have to take opiates when it thunders. The thing came abruptly and unannounced. A demon, a rat-like scurrying from pits remote and unimaginable, a hellish panting and stifled grunting, and then from that opening beneath the chimney, a burst of multitudinous and leprous life, a loathsome night-spawned flood of organic corruption more devastatingly hideous than the blackest conjurations of mortal madness and morbidity. Seething, stewing, surging, bubbling like serpent's slime as it rolled up and out of that yawning hole, spreading like a septic contagion and streaming from the cellar at every point of egress, streaming out to scatter through the accursed midnight forests and strew fear, madness, and death. God knows how many there were. There must have been thousands. To see the stream of them in that faint, intermittent lightning was shocking. When they had thinned out enough to be glimpsed as separate organisms, I saw that they were dwarfed, deformed, hairy devils or apes, monstrous and diabolic. caricatures of the monkey tribe. They were so hideously silent, they were hardly a squeal. Then one of the last stragglers turned with the skill of long practice to make a meal in a custom fashioned on a weaker companion. Others snapped up what it left and ate with slavering relish. Then, in spite of my days of fright and disgust, my morbid curiosity triumphed, and at the last of the monstrosities oozed up alone from that netherworld of unknown nightmare, I drew my automatic pistol and shot it under cover of the thunder. Shrieking, slithering, torrential shadows of red viscous madness chasing one another through endless, ensanguined corridors of purple, fulgurous sky. Formless phantasms and kaleidoscopic mutations of a ghoulish, remembered scene. Forest of monstrous overnourished oaks with serpent roots twisting and sucking unnameable juices from an earth verminous with millions of cannibal devils. Mound-like tentacles groping from underground nuclei of polypus perversion. Insane lightning over maligned, ivied walls and demon arcades choked with fungus vegetation. Heaven be thanked for the instinct which led me unconscious to places where men dwell, to the peaceful village that slept under the calm stars of clearing skies. I had recovered enough in a week to send to Albany for a gang of men to blow up the Martins mansion and the entire top of Tempest Mountain with dynamite, stop up all the discoverable mound burrows, and destroy certain overnourished trees whose very existence seemed an insult to sanity. I could sleep a little after they had done this, but true rest will never come as long as I remember that nameless secret of the lurking fear. The thing will haunt me, for who can say the extermination is complete, and that analogous phenomena do not exist all over the world? Who can, with my knowledge, think of the Earth's unknown caverns without a nightmare dread of future possibilities? I cannot see a well or a subway entrance without shuddering. Why cannot the doctors give me something to make me sleep, or truly calm my brain when it thunders? What I saw in the glow of flashlight after I shot the unspeakable, staggering object was so simple that almost a minute elapsed before I understood and went delirious. The object was nauseous, a filthy, whitish gorilla thing with a sharp yellow fangs and matted fur. It was the ultimate product of mammalian degeneration, the frightful outcome of isolated spawning, multiplication, and cannibal nutrition above the below the ground. The embodiment of all the snarling and chaos and grinning fear that lurked behind life. It had looked at me as it died, and its eyes had the same odd quality that marked those other eyes which had stared at me underground and excited cloudy recollections. One eye was blue, the other brown. They were the dissimilar Martens eyes of the old legends, and I knew in one inundating cataclysm of voiceless horror what had become of that vanquished family, the terrible and thunder-crazed house of Martens. Alrighty, hope you enjoyed that reading of The Lurking Fear. Can read that again sometime. Next up is other stories, such as my buddy's favorite day gone, which I do remember they mentioned. So we will get to that next Horror Tuesday. You guys enjoyed for now, and wish you a good night as we continue that another time soon. Alrighty then. Well, it does it for our short little stream here tonight. Thank you to Lily Red Wolf for the lurk, I believe. Huh. Interesting. Well, thank you for coming in. If you did. And had a fun time with that. We shall pick it up shortly. Get in a little raid for tonight. Pick it up soon tomorrow, early evening, late afternoon. Looking forward to it then, guys. We'll say goodnight for now. Get back to it very shortly. Going to be good fun. I will catch you then. Let me see any. Why are these raid alerts hard? Raid emotes hard to find? I don't know. Should not be so hard to. Why doesn't it let you search emotes in the... Oh, well. Maybe it does. Yeah, it does if you type it. Ah, there it is. Got the one raid emote from AJ and somebody else. Alright, catch you guys shortly then. It's a raid for now. Back to it tomorrow. Late afternoon, early evening. Let's get into Lily Red Wolf for coming in. And we'll talk to you shortly, guys. Looking forward to it. Gonna be great stuff. Until then, I wish you good night. For now. Alrighty, catch you then, guys. Gonna be good. Great Action Adventure Wednesday coming up. Catch you then, friends. We shall get to it early tomorrow. Take care. Lots of good stuff. A lot of good things planned. I'll catch you then. Probably do a little stream, pet streams, or mobile streams, stuff like that in the meantime. We'll see how that goes. But definitely some good stuff tomorrow. Not tonight. Just raid for the time being. See you shortly. Just raid for the time being. See you shortly.
No, I'm not sure what these spiky things are. But it looks like we gotta be careful. Let's just walk through real quick. Oh, I take damage from it, but I don't see like a health bar or anything. Let's push that out of the way. Damn, okay, that's stuck. Oh, I don't even have to walk through there. I could've just moved the rock. I see. Maybe this is gonna be like brains. Games that are good for like fixing my brain. Maybe I'll be better at puzzle stuff after this. Okay, move the damn rock! Woo, we did it! Madius the Lustful Demon. She's gonna be, she could be, what's her face? Yuri. You and me now. Deal. No questions asked. No time. Busy gathering girls with this Yuri. We're gonna stay with her. They always say that, but they always try to run away. I'll have to break your knees, just in case. That's my kind of girl. Ace! Oh my goodness! Thank you so much for the raid! How are you doing tonight? Guys, check out Ace's channel and give him